What's going on, my lords and ladies? It is your samurai back for my first Elden Ring guide. Runes are vital and finite resources that are required for making character builds, upgrading weapons, and acquiring sorceries or ashes of war skills in this game. And today I will be showing you glitchless efficient ways and the best spots for rune farming from early to end game and help you throughout your journey. Before we continue, rune farming is optional and not required to beat the game. Learning the game's mechanics and exploring the world map deeply is more than enough to carry your progress throughout the game, and bloated stats may affect your first-hand experience. I also understand there are tons of character builds out there and equipment in Elden Ring, and if you are the type who constantly wants to try new builds or things, or simply just wanna grind, either way, it requires a lot of runes. By all means, I got you covered, and with that out of the way, let's get you ready to roll. Method number 1, Seaside Ruins Brawl. I will show you all the spots from early to end game, and it requires a straight killing that can be repeated as much as you desire, and there are no required items or setup for the early game methods, and having your Steed or Torrent is all that matters. I'm assuming you already have one up to this point, but if you do not have one yet, check the description section below. For the first method, it can be accessed as soon as one starts the game. The actual spot is just near the starting point, and from the first step, go down to the lower level of Limgrave to the swamps and follow and hug the cliffs until you see the Site of Grace. This will be your main starting point for this method, and head east from the Seaside Ruins Site of Grace, and you will eventually find demi-humans and Stormveil Knights that are fighting each other. Dive in and join the fight since they are preoccupied with one another, and you can easily kill or backstab them without any issues. After all the targets are down, fast travel back to the Seaside Ruins Site of Grace to respawn them. Rinse and repeat, a quick and easy way to earn runes as soon as you start a game. This will net you 582 runes per run, and assuming that you can bring down all the targets in a minute, you can expect 34,920 runes per hour, and that's really a good start. Method number 2, Grey Rose Dragon Burrow Iron Ball Farming. This method is by far the best one in the early game since you can get hundreds of thousands of souls without any need for combat. First things first, we need to know how to access the area, and it is going to be a long journey. Starting from the Gatefront Ruins Site of Grace, follow the long path here, and our goal here is to reach the Third Church of America. Skip all of the enemies that you have come across and you should be fine. Pass the bridge, take a sharp left turn, leading you to East Limgrave and to its ruins. Passing the ruins is finally the Third Church of America. Touch the Site of Grace and grab the Sacred Tear here to strengthen your flask of the Crimson Tears later on. Go to the back of the church and you will see a hidden teleporting device that will lead you straight to another region named K-Lead after touching it. You will be teleported to the Bestial Sanctum and open the large door here and activate the Site of Grace. Go outside and ignore the boss for now and head straight to the next Site of Grace. Near the bridge here is the Farum Great Bridge Site of Grace. Activate it and continue passing the bridge, ignoring the dragon boss. We don't want to deal with him for now, and after the bridge, and you will see a tower, and this is Lens Rise. Jump off the cliff past the graves and make sure you land on the stream so you can avoid dying. Touch the Site of Grace, and this will be your main starting point for this method. This method is pretty straightforward. Use Torrent and run towards the path leading to the lower part of the bridge. Head straight until you see an iron ball respawning at your back. As the ball starts moving towards you, do a quick double jump to dodge the iron ball leading to its death towards the cliff. As soon as you receive the runes, fast travel back to the Lens Rise to repeat the whole process. Nice and easy, and this method nets you 1,952 runes per run. Assuming that you can finish each session in 30 seconds, you can expect a total of 234,000 runes per hour. This is too much for anyone who just started the game, making it the best method in early game. If things will start to go sour after doing it over and over, you do have an option to travel back to Farum Great Bridge side of Grace, and you can backstab easily all of the vulgar militiamen around the area, even having a stock build like my samurai here in this video. Just be careful, these guys are deadly and your rune's mileage varies widely due to the enemy positions and you will be doing a lot of backstabbing. So the Iron Ball method is way better in a long mile, while you can skip method number 1 and do this one instead when you start the game. However, there are people who want to take things slowly since this method involves opening a new region. I just want to inform everyone these options are indeed available. Method number 3. Mount Gilmere, Seath Water, Terminus Brawl. Moving forward to the mid-game method, the Mount Gilmere Seath Water Terminus Brawl, and we will be starting to the actual location since I figured out you have already gotten a hold of things and explored and progressed decently on your own. This method is accessible after you reach Altus Plateau, and if not, I have put all the possible ways to access Altus Plateau in the links below. Any build or playstyle will do, but I highly advise getting the Golden Scarab first before doing this one, and I also link its location in the description section below. The Golden Scarab increases your total rune gain by 20%, making us stack even more runes. From the side of Grace, head straight past the rocks and head west. You will find Fire Cult members and Golden Order Knights fighting each other. After killing the nearest cult member, dive into the fight and slaughter both parties. After sweeping all the targets, teleport your way back to the Seath Water Terminus site to respawn our targets, just like in method number 1. Each run nets you 9,200 runes with a Golden Scarab equipped, and assuming that you can complete each run in 1 minute, expect 552,000 runes per hour. I'm already at my second playthrough, so I get more runes, so expect lower mileage when accessing this method when playing a new game, but still a good source of runes at mid-game. If you find the Iron Ball method and this method have a little difference in terms of rune gains when playing at new game, even with a Golden Scarab equipped, you are welcome to just do the previous method. Method number 4, Mogwin Dynasty, Giant Crow Farming, aka Bird Farming. Endgame farming starts here, and this is one of the famous methods when farming runes in the game. But before anything else, if you are into straight to the point guides, tips and tricks like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you will not miss out on my weekly content. Now, the next method can be accessed as soon as you reach Mogwin Dynasty Mausoleum. This method does not require beating the final boss compared to the last method. The things that we need for this spot are a shortbow or any other medium bow will do. It doesn't need to be upgraded as well. Arrows for our shortbow of course, and a golden scarab and a golden pickled fowl foot for more rune gains. The fowl foot is really optional and more to that later. As always, all of the items needed for this run and also on how to access the area are linked in the description section below. Now that you are set, starting from the Dynasty Mausoleum entrance, go to the path leading to the Blood Swamp. Ignore all of the enemies here and sprint as usual and you should be fine. Hug the rocky borders of the eastern part of the swamp and follow the path. Soon you will find an elevated area with a lot of sleeping albinorics and ignore them for now. Head straight to the Palace Approach Ledge Road side of Grace, touch it, and we can now start the actual run. After accessing the Grace, head your way to the cliffs and notice that there's a giant rotten crow in the lower blood swamps. Target it and try to hit it with your arrows. Successful hits will aggro the crow and it runs towards you and fall from the cliffs, leading to its demise and drop runes. Simply touch the nearby Grace to respawn the crow and repeat the process. It will take a while before getting used to it, and the goal here is to hit the bird before it turns around and shorten your runs like what I did here in the video. As soon as you see that the crow fell from the cliffs, immediately touch the Grace for respawn. At New Game Plus, each run nets you 26,491 runes, and assuming that you can finish each run in 20 seconds, that's roughly 4,770,000 runes in an hour. If you manage to use the golden pickled fowl foot for an entire hour, each run provides 34,440 runes, and that's roughly 6,190,000 runes per hour. I am also aware that the golden pickled fowl foot is hard to come by, especially at new game, warranting its own guide. I will make sure that I will make one for it, so stay tuned for that, and it is completely fine farming without these. It is possible to access this method as soon as you reach the Lunar Lakes on the other hand with some prerequisites. Check the description section below on how to do it. Method number 5, Mohgwyn Dynasty, Sacred Relic Sword, Albinaurix farming. Ready to earn tons of runes? Let's go on with it, but there's a catch. For the required setup, you need to beat the final boss for this method to be optimized. So you can exchange the Elden Remembrance for the Sacred Relic Sword in the Round Table hold and make it at least to +9. Have the required stats for it so you can use the sword skill. The Golden Scarab of course, and also the optional Golden Pickled Fowl foot for more rune gains. Fortunately, we don't need to go elsewhere since the target are just right in the corner. Method number 4 and 5 shares the same spot, and the process of farming is relatively simple. Use your fowl foot and start using the sword skill to sweep all of the Albinaurics sleeping around, but I have practiced specific steps to make the runs faster and more consistent. Starting for the Grace, run towards near the section where the Albinauric sleeps, but don't overextend. Pay attention to where my character stops to release the first wave of gold. My marker for everyone is the rock I am stepping on. If positioned correctly, it will wipe half of the Albinaurics nearest your direction. To wipe the remaining ones, run past the bloodstains on the ground and release another wave of gold. Usually, 90% of the Albinaurics around will be wiped, with surviving 1 to 2 targets. Don't bother killing the ones who survived, quickly backtrack to the Grace to respawn them, rinse and repeat. In this way, you can have a consistent and tremendous amount of runes in a short period. Each run lasts for 20 seconds and nets around 86 to 90k runes, accumulating to 15,480,000 runes to 16,200,000 without the golden pickled fowl foot. If one can keep up the fowl foot for an hour, we can expect 117,300 runes per 20 seconds run, and that's roughly a whopping 21,110,000 runes per hour at New Game Plus. You can expect lower mileage of course during your first playthrough, and this is by far the best glitchless rune farming in the game. While you can still farm in this spot without the Sacred Relic Sword, using Radahn's Star Scorch Greatswords or Mohgwyn's Sacred Spear or other weapons or sorceries that have a wide AoE attack that can wipe these guys. However, nothing beats the Sacred Relic Swords in my opinion in terms of consistency and mileage per hour. I just wanted to cite that these options are indeed available out there. That wraps it up and pretty much all for this guide. Choose which method works best for you depending on your progress. There are other tons of ways to farm runes in the game like AFK farming or exploits and all. However, I still prefer the legit way of farming. I handpick the ones with the best results to save time as much as possible. If I miss better spots other than the ones I mentioned, share it in the comments and I will check it out. If you find this guide useful or you learn a thing or two, support the channel by liking the video and by subscribing. Hit that bell icon to not miss my weekly uploads, and as always, thanks for watching. For more Elden Ring content, keep it locked here at JRPG Samurai. Stay awesome and safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.